All right, continuing with the video. Sorry, we had a disruption before. So we have cosine sine, cosine sine, cosine sine, cosine sine, and tan. So here's a big key thing we need you to figure out. Where is, in what quadrants is sine theta greater than 0? In what quadrants? That would be in quadrants. So now look at it. Where is sine positive? In all the quadrants, sine is only positive in wherever the y values are positive, right? So that would be in the first and second quadrant. Good. Where is cosine positive? In what quadrants is cosine theta? So sine is positive in the first and second quadrant. In what quadrants is cosine positive? So that would be my x values. Where is cosine positive? That would be these two quadrants. That's quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. Where is tan positive? That is in, tan is positive in this quadrant and that quadrant. Quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. So as you notice, no matter what you do, whether it's sine, cos, tan, they are all positive in this first quadrant. So I'm going to make a very important note here. You should draw it too. So here, put a capital A, all positive. Right? So capital A for all positive. What about here? Who is the only one positive in quadrant 2? Well, sine's positive. But what about cos and tan? Negative. So sine only is positive. Okay? So sine only. And what about this quadrant? Who's the only one positive? Well, sine's negative, cosine's negative, tan's the only one positive. Tan only is positive. And this quadrant here, this one would be the fourth quadrant. The only one positive here is cosine because sine and tan are negative. Cosine only is positive. So this is a way people remember it. They go A, S, T, C. A, S, T, C. To remember that this one, all of them are positive, only sine positive, only tan positive, only cosine positive. So some people remember it like all students, I don't know if you want to do that, all students take calculus, all students take candy, all students take chemistry. I have no idea what you want to remember, but just remember that, okay? You'll get used to it. Or if you don't want to remember that, because some people don't. I have a lot of students I tutor who don't want that. They just do this with the signs, but make sure you do it right. Okay, so now, lastly, we're going to finish this off. And you're going to have sine of theta is less than 0, tan of theta is greater than 0. All you have to do is state the quadrant. Now, these are very popular and very confusing at first, but if you just work it out like this, if you see that sine is less than 0, so you go like this. So this means sine is negative, right? So if sine is negative, in what quadrants is sine negative? That means it can't be these two quadrants, because if you remember A, S, T, C, that means sine is positive. And here they're all positive. We want negative. So you go like this. So you go, okay, so it's not these two because it's got to be negative. And it's got to be one of these two. And then they tell you tan has to be greater than 0. So tan has to be positive. Positive. So tan's only positive left over. Tan's only positive in this one because tan's not positive here. So that would be quadrant 3. Okay. So let's try another one. So you set it up. You write all students. So I should say all sine only positive, tan only positive, cosine only positive, right? And you go, okay, sine is less than 0. Okay. Some people do this if you want. If they remember CS, okay, CS, and you remember that way, then you can say sine is negative. That means y is negative. So they think, where is y negative? And they're like, oh, that's in these two quadrants. That's where y is negative. So it must not be this. It must be one of these two. And then where is cosine greater than 0? Cosine positive. And they go, oh, cosine is the x. So they think of x. Where is x positive? Well, x is positive in this one. So it's quadrant 4. That might work better for you. I don't know. It's whatever works. Here, cosine is greater than 0. So cos positive means, if you do CS, means x is positive, right? So where are the x coordinates positive? That's one of these two quadrants, right? So it's one of these two. And where is tan also going to be positive? Well, tan is sine of, they're all positive. I mean, these are both positive. So tan's only positive in these two. So it must be this one, quadrant 1. And then the last one is sine less than 0, cosine less than 0. So if you do ASTC, or if you do the CS, right? And you say sine less than 0, meaning y is negative, and cosine less than 0, meaning x is negative. So where's y negative and x negative? Quadrant 3. Like, lots of different ways to figure that out. So when we meet up again, we'll go over that. And then this last one, use the coordinates of the unit circle to calculate each of the following angles. I mean, of course you could type this in your calculator, but you know, it's actually a lot faster if you just make a unit circle. A unit circle is very easy to do. I'm going to make this closer to the picture so it's easier to see. Okay, so all you do is go, when you have to use a unit circle, you have to write the coordinates like this point here. That's 1, 0, because it's a unit circle. So that's really bad. So it's going like this. So the radius is 1. So that's 1, 0. That's negative 1, 0. That's 0, 1. That's 0, negative 1. So I used to remember as writing negative 10, 10, and then I just put little commas in between, right? Put CS, 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 CS. Then we're good to go. Sine of 0. So 0 is in this is right here. This is 0, an angle of 0. So sine is 0. Sine of 90, right here, CS 1. Sine of 180, 180. Sine is 0. Sine of 270, 270, negative 1. Sine of 360, full circle, sine 0. Well, that's it for today. Please do your best with your homework. I will be checking that, and have a good evening or morning or afternoon. I have no idea what time you're watching this. Bye.